Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we're going to be doing an old school breakdown. If you remember this part of the game when they added it, that is right guys, we are going to be breaking down the Elder Tree. Now I've been getting a lot of new players that are joining AFK Arena, also a lot of veteran players that are used to the Elder Tree, but this is actually released 3+ years ago. So it's been kind of crazy, and overall the Elder Tree has never been adjusted. It hasn't been changed. You just continue going through here and build out some more stats. Now I did spend some diamonds. We reset this thing so I can kind of show you the basic build when you're first getting the Elder Tree unlocked, which I believe is at chapter 8, if I remember. It's either chapter 8 or 9 that you actually get this Elder Tree unlocked, and how it has kind of changed over the past 3 years based on a lot of heroes that we do have built. So looking here, guys, this is going to be the basic Elder Tree when it is unlocked. You will just have this core or this middle piece that is unlocked until the tree hits level 10, or you hit a certain, again, campaign chapter where you will actually unlock the rest of this. Now, when it comes to getting essence in here, it's a lot easier, again, than it used to be on being able to go in the Twisted Realm and going through there and farming out some of the bosses. It begins very, very easy with just that single boss. Now, overall from here, you are going to choose one, and you're only going to choose one primary branch in here that we're going to build. And first, we're going to build it up to level 9. Now, for a majority of players, I'm going to go through and kind of show you, depending who you have. So early game, so again, when you're starting off AFK Arena, early game, mid game, even mid 20 chapters, Damon is really the carry, so the tanking branch in here does make a really big difference. Now, the old guides used to be Ranger all the way, or Mage. Now, again, with the heroes that we have within AFK Arena, you can run this a couple different ways depending who you get. And especially if by chance you're lucky enough to pull an Awakened hero, it is going to be a game changer, guys. So even thinking again, early game, Damon is the one that you're looking for. You're going to go in there when you get your summon scrolls, when you get your faction scrolls, even when you get a choice hero chest, anything that you get, you're going to be looking early game to build out Damon. Damon, again, is going to be the carry. So essentially you would come in here, and this one we would level up to level 9. That is where we take it initially. Now overall, let's say you get into the game, guys, and you get a really strong Awakened copy of Brutus, or you get another Awakened hero, you might pull a copy of Frampton, or you might get lucky with the Awakened version of Athelia. Over here, you could possibly pull, a Matria out of here really early. You could get the Awakened version of Belinda. But overall, guys, again, basic build that we're looking right here is taking this up to level 9. And again, knowing early game that Damon is going to be our carry. So there we go. So we have this at level 9. That also unlocks another skill, which is right here. Early game, this makes a big difference, guys, because again, if Damon is your carry, this is going to be very, very easy. Now, once you do get this up to level 9, you start kind of rounding out your formations. You get to a point where you have other heroes in there. You have Ivan in there, which is the support hero, possibly having another classification of an Awakened hero. You could have, again, a few different ones that fall in here. But after we initially get this one to 9, then you're going to prioritize taking up this tree to level 9, just because, again, the support tree going to make a big difference. But we're actually going to take them all to level 9. You're going to go in here, and again, depending on which heroes you possess, you're either going to do the Mage tree, the Warrior tree, or the Ranger tree. Again, depending on the heroes. Very, very important, guys. It is dependent on the heroes that you do pull within early AFK Arena, because these stats, and looking here, guys, even the percentage stats, even the skill stats right here, make a very big difference when it comes, again, to early Elder Tree, early AFK Arena. These stats can actually have the ability to carry you and carry you for an incredible amount of time. So taking them all to 9. So this, again, is going to be kind of the next break point at the tree, is going from there. So from here, you are actually going to move your next break point, which is going up a little bit further. It is taking the main branch up to 22. That is right, guys. In looking here, if we are still running Damon at this point, which I know a majority of your players, I believe, will be, short of being crazy power level with the Awakened heroes, but a lot of players will be running Damon still at this point. This one will actually go up to 22. And there's a specific reason. Again, looking at some of the breakpoints that we see, is when you're looking at 22, you do get those stats up on the side. You also do add the second ability right there. You also do level up clawback. So over there, you're building it to 22. Now from here, again, regardless of who you're running, where you're taking the heroes, what heroes you have, you're going to pick again one primary branch. Now, going again from 9 to 22, if you're not running Damon, guys, don't build Damon, don't build this branch, build another one out. But from here, you're actually going to be going to 42. So this is under the assumption that we got Damon, we have the tank, we're all set. This one is going to be leveled up to 42, and that again is going to be our next breakpoint. So we're going to take this a little bit higher, and I don't want to go too fast here, but taking this up to 42, again, making a very, very big difference in there with the tanking tree and getting it leveled up. Now, at this point, guys, there's going to be a couple other that we're going to build, and if you're building tank, if you're building another tree, we're going to take the warrior tree up to 37. So 37 is where we're going to move the warrior tree up to. So there we're at 17, 22. And again, I don't want to go too quick because we're only going to 37 in here. And again, this is an old school guide that we had to actually build these out. 37. Then we're taking this one up to 42 as well. Now you notice kind of tying with the other ones, we're taking the tank is up to 42. We're taking the warrior higher. And then of course, this one up to 42. Now the big thing is, again, some of the old school guides, the warriors were not good. There's a point again when the Elder Tree came out, the warrior class was really an optional build that most players didn't build the warrior tree really up at all, which is kind of crazy. But now since we've gotten the awakened version of Brutus, we got, Antandra, the awakened version of Athelia, Rem, so many heroes that we have gotten within this Dura's Might or the warrior tree works incredibly well. Now from here, guys, the way that I would build this is taking, again, your primary one. And in this case, we're going to go with the warrior one and we're going to take it up. And now we're looking at damage versus the survivability. So again, depending on exactly where you're kind of built at and where you're building these out, we would take whatever spec you're building. If it wasn't the warrior tree, you could go in, you could build this one out, you could build the ranger out, you could build the mage, either way, but we're going to take this one up to 65. And we're going to assume at this point that this one is going to be your primary carry for progression. So you're going to go through here and let's say we got an awakened version of Brutus. He's going to be a very strong one. You have Tamris in here. You have a couple other heroes. This is going to be the build. Now, what we're going to do at this point, guys, is we're going to choose two paths. So that is really going to be the focus, guys, is you're going to choose two paths. Those two paths are going to remain maxed out in their entirety, guys. You are going to run those two paths absolutely max out. And you'll find that you're actually getting Twisted Essence a lot faster in here than you're getting, then you're able to actually cap them. So I'm going to go ahead and because of my level, we're going to go ahead and max these out, guys. So I'm going to choose the warrior tree that we are going to max out. And I'm going to take it as far as I can. Now, again, your cap, of course, is going to be much lower, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to max out this warrior tree because warriors, I'm super stoked about. They have life leech, which we absolutely love. 197 is my cap as it sits currently. And for the second tree, we're going in with mages. That is right, guys. We have the warrior tree and the mage tree. Those are the two primary trees that you're going to keep maxed out and you're going to keep maxed out in their entirety, guys. This is going to be the driving force. This is going to be exactly the two that you're going to focus on the most. Now, again, it used to be the Ranger tree. Ranger tree has been a little bit more phased out with the heroes there, but there we go. We have both of these branches maxed out at this point. So again, let's say theoretically, both of our trees are maxed out. We have the warrior tree maxed out. We have the mage tree. At this point, we're going to take this tree right here, our substance tree. This is going to go to 62. Just building it up again a little bit further. So taking this one up to 62. There's 60, 61. And the reason is this right here, guys, is you're getting the haste with the breakpoints in here. So this one is going to go to 62. And then I'm going to do the exact same, kind of going back to forth. Since we have our two primary factions or two primary trees that are maxed out at this point. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to build this one up. This one is going to go to 47. And again, looking at the breakpoints, looking at the builds, 47 is where we're looking to build this one out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there we go. There's the breakpoint of dodge. 47. So we're going to go 47, guys. And again, these are going to kind of go back and forth with the primary objective of both of these being maxed out in their entirety. So once we have this at 47, this one's at 62. We're going to move this one to 72. So actually taking it up again a little bit further to that 72. Looking at the stats we get right there, 72 is going to be the break point. Then we're going to, again, make sure that these are always staying maxed out with the 2 trees that you chose. And it might be Mage and Ranger. It might be Mage and Warrior. It could be Warrior and Ranger. It could be Tank. But the Tank overall, we have a lot of very strong tank heroes, and a lot of the tanks don't need a super high build within the Elder Tree, but there's actually going to be a point a little bit later that we do build it up a little bit further. So once we do take this one to 72, then we're going to take it to 77. Once we get a little bit further, and again, looking at our haste breakpoint at 77, then we're going to go back. This one is going to go to 62, just like we did in our last one, guys, all the way to 62. So 61, there we go. There's our breakpoint. 62 is where this one is staying. Now the tank is going to 47. That's right, going up a little bit higher. And again, looking at our haste, guys, 47 is the breakpoint. But again, a couple different ways that you can play this. Now, again, at this point, you're going to keep both of those trees maxed out, guys. Like I said earlier, you're going to keep the sorcery or the mage tree maxed out. You're going to keep the warrior tree maxed out, or whichever ones that you chosen here, you are going to keep them maxed out, and you're going to keep them maxed out in their entirety, just going forward. And again, there's going to be a couple different breakpoints going through this within the tree itself. So just continuing to build the tree, guys. Again, we're going to take this one. It's now going up to 77. And again, looking at the breakpoints that we do have in there. So we'll build it up a little bit further. There is 76. There's 77. Now, again, the tank tree, we can do the exact same, guys. We can take these up kind of even. Again, keeping your 2 primary trees all built out. These we're going to take to 77. And for the exact same logic and the exact same reason on the build, 76. And there we go. There is our haste at 77. Now, from here, guys, again, it kind of differs because you can go to 110. 110 is usually the next breakpoint that we see with a lot of these. I believe 90, I think 90s is another breakpoint. Let's build this up a little bit further. But I know there's 1 or 2 other breakpoints that I might be missing. Maybe it was around 97 is the next breakpoint for, or maybe it's higher. Maybe it's 1 plus, or there might not be another one past this 20 haste. No, there's not. So that is it, guys. 77 is the final breakpoint. I was just thinking of kind of going back. So building these up, again, primarily focusing on building the other 3, I would say kind of equally at this point, making sure, again, the 2 primary damage dealers are kind of built here. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to kind of just build all 3 of these evenly. I believe at this point I can get them probably about 140, 140 plus. I think would be pretty set. But again, this is a part of AFK Arena that hasn't changed in 3+ years, but definitely going through here and figuring out exactly what you need to build. Because at this point where I am of AFK Arena, I need a majority of these trees built to maximize the damage that I have on the heroes within AFK Arena. So I do keep the support tree a little bit lower. I usually keep the tanking tree a little bit lower, and I will actually max out this tree for the awakened version of Thane. We have Crescio, we have the awakened version of Lyca. We have a lot of heroes in here that provide an incredible amount of damage. So again, at this point, I just go back and forth between these 2 trees, keeping this tree kind of maxed out, which we can actually, I think we have enough to do that right now. We have a lot of essence, and we actually farmed a ton of essence out of here, guys. But looking again, when it comes to damage dealers in AFK Arena, and you really got to kind of understand this, is the damage dealers in AFK Arena, regardless of which Elder Tree or which specification they have, require the highest stats. The higher stats, the more stats that you're stacking onto your damage dealing heroes, it is going to be amplified by gear, and then putting on collections, putting on a lot of different things on there is just going to amplify the damage that they're putting out in a lot of different game modes. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.